Well, hi and welcome. These are the top 20 mistakes I see business owners make. I'm Brad Sugars. I'm the chairman and founder of Action Coach. And for 30 years, I've been coaching business owners. And these are the mistakes we see you making out there in the marketplace. So how many of these are you making? Which basically means how many areas can you do amazingly better in once I teach you how to fix them? So top 20 mistakes, how to fix them. Number one mistake business owners make: competing on price. Trying to discount, trying to price their way into a new job. Business is about profit, not about sales. Business is about actual having a bottom line. Competing on price. If you live by price, you will die by price. How do we beat that then? Well, what you've got to be is in some way, shape, or form unique. You got to create a differentiation. You got to be different to your competitors in some way, shape, or form. Some businesses do that by having a guarantee. Some businesses do that by having a step-by-step process. Some do that by branding. Okay, there's many ways to be unique out there in the marketplace. Some do that by their location. Some do that by having weird-looking cars out on the road type thing. Some do it by their uniforms. Whatever it is you do, you've got to be different to the competitors if you want to charge a better price. You cannot compete on price and survive very long in business, especially if you've got a growing business. You need the profit to be able to fund the growth of the business. Mistake number two: lack of planning. I know how much business owners love planning. See, at Action Coach, one of the things we do is we get our business owners together every 90 days and plan for the next 90 days. Actually, a day in a room teaching everyone what to do, how to do it, and plan for the next 90 days. But the lack of planning, it leads to very much a putting out fires approach to their business. They're very reactive, not proactive. And so they're not building the business, they're running the business. Well, in fact, lack of planning, that means it's not you running the business is running you, I guess, in many ways is possibly what we do. So how do we solve that? Well, we don't start by doing massive plans. What we start with is daily planning. Actually, at the end of the day, every single day, making a plan for the next day. You and anyone on your team doing that, okay? Start there. Get good at daily before you worry about getting good at weekly, monthly, quarterly, annual, and 5-year plans type thing. Daily planning, most important one. Third biggest mistake I see business owners make. Number three, doing everything themselves. This statement kills me from business owners. Well, Brad, no one can do it as good as me. You know what, Brad? I'm going to do it myself because I'm going to save a wage. Listen, saving a wage costs you a fortune. Saving wages costs you a fortune. If you, as the owner of the business, are doing employees' work, in other words, do the work once, get paid once work, not even management work, which is do the work once, get paid long term, or owner's work, do the work once, get paid forever, you've got to get back to understanding. Trying to do it all yourself is actually killing the business. I keep seeing these things about hustle and grind, and I always say, I think hustle and grind is the new stupid. Because what it does, and I did this, I got to be honest, I did this in the beginning. I worked 6 days a week, 16-hour days. I wore it as a badge of honor, like that I slept in my office. I had to sleep here. I'm working that hard. And then I realized, hang on a sec, that's not the goal. The goal is to build a business that works so I don't have to build a commercial, profitable enterprise that works without me. Trying to do it all myself was definitely not the way to do it. Get professionals to do their job. You wouldn't try and build a house all yourself. You get a plumber to do the plumbing, an electrician to do the electrics. You know what I mean? Don't do that in business. Marketers do marketing. Salespeople do sales. That's how it is. Mistake number 4 is what we're up to. Number 4 is not enough marketing. Yeah, I know most people say, Brad, I can't afford marketing. If you learn to do marketing right, marketing is the buying of lifetime customers, the profitable buying of lifetime customers. In fact, read this one of my latest books, Raise Your Hand Marketing. See, if you want a growth business, it's about really 2 things. Get them and keep them. Get them coming back, okay? Get customers, get clients, and get them to buy more often from you. Okay, when you learn that that's what business is, marketing becomes a major function of the owner of the business. Like, as the owner, you need to be more of a rainmaker, okay? Bring in the business and keep the business coming back. Number 5 biggest mistake, working too much. I touched on it a moment ago, but if you're the owner of the business and you want to have great ideas, working 12, 16-hour days is not the solution, okay? Now, I know in the beginning, it feels like you have to do that, okay? And some of you are probably watching this going, Brad, but you don't understand my business. Absolutely, I do understand your business. We've coached more than 280,000 business owners. And every single time I sit with them, I put them into our initial 12-week program where we get them started with us here at Action Coach. And I let them know that one of your goals is to find 4 hours a week to work on your business, not in your business, right? That's your goal by the end of the 12 weeks. Usually by weeks 5, 6, or 7, they've all found the extra 4 weeks. Why? Because we get rid of the dumb stuff that's being done, okay? We get rid of some of the mistakes that's causing too much work and all of those sorts of things. But I want you to know that our goal here at Action Coach is to help you work less and make more. And I know that seems crazy. How can I make more if I'm working less? Because the business should make money. The business should work, not you. That brings me to mistake number 6, no clear goals. You want to achieve more, you need more written documented goals. You don't want to achieve more, don't have written documented goals. The more written documented goals you have, the more you achieve. No more complex than that. Granular goals, bring it down, but also having a vision for what do you want from your business. You know, when I sit with a business owner, I ask them a question that usually blows them away. They're like, what do you mean? Because I ask them, when do you want to finish your business, right? When do you want to finish the business? And they're like, what do you mean finish? So when do you want the business to run without you? For you to not be needed and it still makes good profit and it's still growing type thing. Now, most of them, they sit with it and like they just can't answer me in the beginning because they've never thought of it that way. You know, building a commercial, profitable enterprise that works without you takes somewhere between 3 and 10 years, depending upon how far into the process you are already. But chat with the coach and that sent you this video and ask them about it. Or if you're just finding this yourself, jump on actioncoach.com and take a look at it. Mistake number 7. And this one sort of touches back into marketing, but it's all areas. It's called not measuring and not testing. You can only manage what you measure, and especially from a marketing perspective, a sales perspective, a performance perspective, productivity, you can only manage what you measure. Lack of measurement kills most businesses. Testing, lack of testing is you just dive straight into the deep end rather than doing it. You know, I was chatting with someone the other day about their marketing, and I said, listen, 80% of marketing fails, okay? Like if I got 10 ads and I go to Google and I put all 10 ads up, 8 out of 10 of them will fail. 2 out of the 10 will get a result. The question is, am I testing enough to know which ones are the good ones? And am I watching the numbers, measuring to know which ones I should scale and which ones I should kill off? If we don't do testing, we waste a lot of money in our marketing and a lot of money growing our business. Number 8, not asking for feedback. No, it goes back to the doing it all yourself thing. Well, I must have all the answers. No, ask for feedback. Ask your customers for feedback. Always be asking customers for feedback. If they tell you something's wrong, great, you get to fix it. Ask your team, your staff for feedback. If they tell you stuff is wrong, great, you get to remove excuses. You get to fix things. You get to grow. You get to build the business. Ask your coach for feedback, your suppliers for feedback. Get more people and ask them how you can do better. Always ask every person you meet in business, how can I do better today? What could I have done that would be better for you? How could we have done this better? The better you get, the better the profitability gets. Number 9, relying on people, not systems. What do I mean by that? Well, let me give you an example. If you get on an airplane today, right, and the pilot's getting in the cockpit, do you think the pilot follows a checklist? What's the answer? Yes. What percentage of the time would you like that pilot to follow the checklist? Like 100, right? Because you want them to succeed 100% of the time. If my team are not following a checklist, a system, then the business goes like this. It's like great performance, bad performance. It's inconsistent. If you follow a checklist, there's consistency of performance. Number 10. Number 10 biggest business owner mistake is no real strategy for growth. Okay, and what do I mean by that? If you look at strategy, and that's in this book over here called Pulling Profits Out of a Hat. If you look at strategy of a business, it really comes down to 4 things. What is the leverage point? And leverage means do the work once, get paid forever. Like, how do you get a customer that stays forever type thing? That's part of your strategy. Scalability. Scalability's definition is the next sale costs less and is easier, meaning as you grow, your business should get easier, not harder type thing, okay? And if that's not there, then the strategy is incorrect. 2 other points of strategy are marketability and opportunity. Marketability is how easy does the product sell itself, and opportunity is how big is the market that you go into. And so looking at that strategy side is really important aspect of having a growth-oriented business. So again, read the book or chat with your coach. Number 11, not planning the customer experience. Okay, remember back in the day there was customer service departments and basically that was a complaints area, right? Well, in this day and age, we see it as proactively planning the customer experience, the customer journey. And how do we make sure our customers have a great journey so that they come and they stay, they become lifers? How do you create a lifetime customer is by planning their experience and giving them an experience that means they want to stay, they want to tell the world about you, they want to send referrals, they want to post it on social media every time they come do business with you type thing. That's what we're aiming to do. Plan that customer experience so that they grow from being a prospect or a suspect right through to being a raving fan of your organization. Number 12, too many ongoing costs, especially in the human side of the business. One of the earliest killers of a small business is leases, renting stuff. You know, I would rather go and buy 10 secondhand desks that I can pay cash for than take a lease out on office equipment. Okay? But when it comes to humans in the organization, I see too much lopsided. There's not enough salespeople to pay for all of the operations people. If your business is operations heavy, it's going to be low in profitability. If your business is sales heavy, more salespeople, more marketing people generating, generally there'll be great profitability in the organization. Most companies we come in and coach, we want them to add at least 20 to 40% more salespeople. In many cases, it's 100, 200% because they don't have any salespeople type thing. Even if it's a phone salesperson, an email salesperson, a social media salesperson. Yes, social media salesperson, all they do is sit on social media and connect to make conversations with people and lead them to sales, okay? So building that is very, very important. Number 13, biggest business owner mistake. Having one massive customer, or you could also say that as one massive lead source. I remember working with a company one time and they got a massive contract and they were in the car manufacturing business and they got one big car manufacturer that came to them and said, we would like you to make these for us. We need this many per year. And it meant they had to drop basically every other customer to be able to do business with this one massive company. And they came to me for advice, and I sat down with them and went through all the pros and cons and all of that sort of stuff. And in the end, they rejected the contract at the price point it was at. And they said, if you can do it at this price point with this much capital investment, we'll do it. But we can't afford to do it the way you're doing it. Because here's what would have happened. 95% of their business would have been one customer. All the capital they needed to invest to build the business to do that, that one customer leaves, their business is dead. Now, ultimately, they did do the deal because they talked that massive car company into investing the capital to be able to get them to do the deal and keep their other business running at the same time. But think about it this way. If you've got one massive customer or only one method of lead generation, like if all of your customers come because you have billboards type thing, or if all of your customers come because of just your website, you've got to have more methodologies of getting it. So don't put all your eggs in one basket with one customer or one marketing strategy. You need multiple of both, okay? Number 14 is they ignore the competition. Or they just ignore the market in general. They don't look at, is there inflation, not inflation? Is money more expensive, less expensive? They don't look at their competitors and do mystery shops or even a SWOT analysis or even check your competitor's website. One of the greatest leaders in business, a gentleman by the name of Alan Mulally, he was voted CEO of the Year twice, once for the turnaround of Boeing aircraft and the second for the turnaround of Ford Motor Car Company. And one of the things he did when he got to Ford is he stopped everyone driving Fords, and I think they owned Range Rover and Jaguar at the time, and he stopped everyone driving that, and he went and bought one of every car of every other car company and said, this is what you will drive. Each week I want you to drive a different one so that you learn about what they're doing and that. Know your competition, know them real well, learn from them, grow from them. That's how you beat them. Number 15 mistake. This one's a killer, and I know it's a killer because I did it when I was young, is we hire badly. We pay peanuts and we get monkeys. Or we hire our next door neighbor's kid, or we hire our cousin who's out of work, or, oh my God, I made all those mistakes. Today, when I go to recruit people, I use that word, by the way. I use recruit. I don't go out and hire people. It's not about a help wanted ad. It's not about that. It's about recruiting the best of the best. Kind of like sporting teams are recruiters. They go looking for the best of the best and they recruit them to come play for their team type thing. It's how do I find that best of the best mentality? Again, chat with your coach if you want more details on that. But ultimately, what I'm looking for today is someone who's overqualified. Because if the business is growing in a few months or a few years, they're going to be qualified. I want overqualified people who can help me grow it, not underqualified people who I have to teach to get it there sort of thing. People who are better than me at that job is what I need to recruit. I just need to know enough to ask them the right questions. Like if I'm hiring a marketing manager, I need to know enough about marketing to ask them good questions. I don't need to know what they're going to do, but I need to know enough to hire a great one. Number 16, not knowing our numbers. Possibly one of the biggest mistakes business owners make is wait until the end of the year to know their numbers. That's crazy. You got to know not just your numbers of lead generation and conversion rates, but you got to know your cost and your percentages of wages and all of those things. You got to know those numbers. And if that means you got to read a couple of books or come do some training with us here. But a big thing that I teach business owners is to have a separate bank account for profits. And like, what do you mean a separate bank account for profits? Well, let's imagine 20% of your business should be profit. Like that it should be about 20%. Great, have 20% of your customers build into that account and just leave the money in there. That's the profit. This is where you operate it from. That's the profit account. The profit goes in there, it stays in there. We also, as companies get bigger, suggest, a tax bank account and so on and so forth. But it's knowing your numbers and managing your numbers. Number 17 mistake business owners make, not investing. And when I say investing in systems, investing in technology, investing in their people. If you're not training your people, how can they do a better job? You got to train your people. If you want your salespeople to get a better conversion rate, do you need to train them? Yes. If you want your managers to be better managers, you got to train them. You want your leaders, you want your customer service people. Training is a massive part of the success of businesses out there. Investing in your people, not investing in a website, not investing in buying customers, their marketing, not investing in action coach. There you go. There's another one. But you've got to be an investor if you're a business owner. You got to think that way. I need to build for the future. Number 18, low or no online savvy, no real online presence. The website, oh my God, how important is a website today? And I still see companies trying to do it cheap. Oh yeah, I got my next door neighbor's kid. He did my website for $5,000. Please, the technology needed to get great websites today. The platforms needed to get great websites today. The content needed to build great websites today. We got to invest in it. Learn it first, obviously. The number one investment you can make as a business owner is your own knowledge, becoming a great business owner. Learn more so you can earn more, very simply put. But when you think about how you do marketing from how do I get my prospects to say, hey, I'm interested? What can I offer them? Maybe it's a video similar to this. Maybe it's a webinar. Maybe it's an ebook. Maybe it's a meeting. Whatever it is. But start making offers to the market where they can raise their hand and say, hey, I'm interested in what it is that you sell, or I'm interested at some stage in buying what you do. And that's massively important. And always remember to do the permanent marketing over the instant marketing. Throwing a picture up on Instagram is great, but having a phenomenal blog article on your website that lasts forever and brings customers forever is far more important than a nice photo on your Instagram page. Permanent, more important than instant. Number 19. If I look at this mistake that business owners make, it's possibly one of the biggest killers, okay? And that is not getting professional advice. You would never go into business and think, oh, you know what? I can just do my tax returns myself in business. No, you get a professional. You get an accountant to help you. You get a lawyer to help you if you got a legal problem. Well, if you got a growth problem, should you go and get a good coach? Yes. You've got to get professional help if you want to grow your business. You don't have to learn everything, but you have to know who to ask, okay? And that's a really important one. And finally, number 20 biggest mistake business owners make. Letting their business run their life and take them away from their family and their health. Losing their health and their family because of their business. Oh no, I'm doing this just for my family. Listen, I get it. Providing for your family is a really important thing to do. But if you let your business kill off your family, I was chatting with a business owner a couple of months back, and he said, Brad, I got to do all these things. I said, great. How do you have your kids become involved in that so they're there with you? If you've got to go to work after hours, then how can you get the family involved? What can you do that will bring you closer together because of the business, not push you apart because of the business? Ultimately, being in business should give you a better life. Being a business owner should not run you. You should be able to run it. You should be able to build something that works so you don't have to. You should be able to build something that provides for your time freedom as well as your financial freedom. But it's going to take some learning. It's going to take some growing to. I'm not sure how many of these mistakes you see in your business, whether it's 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 or whatever the number is. If it's all 20 of them, doesn't matter. What matters is that you're starting to learn and starting to grow. And the more you learn and the more you grow as a business owner, the easier the whole thing gets. So keep learning, become a great business owner. Unfortunately, in the start of business for me, I thought it was about being great at the job of the business. And then ultimately I recognized my job is to build a business, not to be the business. So connect with an action coach, jump on our website, subscribe to my videos, keep learning, keep growing, keep coming back, and we'll keep helping you grow your business. Bye for now.